Hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you're a regular viewer. It's a beautiful mid-May midday and it's really sunny and nice. So I thought I'd get out here and give you a bit of garden update. It's been a couple of weeks since I uploaded a video. The neighbours have been having their roof fixed. I didn't really fancy recording a video in front of a bunch of half-naked men, so I've just been putting it off. As you can probably get a bit of a peek of behind me, everything's kind of spring to life over the last couple of weeks. It's been beautiful and sunny here in Buckinghamshire, and I've managed to keep up with the watering, and everything's kind of just burst into life. So I'm really excited to show you how it's going and some of the changes we've got here in the garden. I'll start by just showing you the outside of the fence here, and then we'll go in and have a look at what's been going on. Right, so just starting on the outside of the fence here, I've got my apple trees, which we moved down from the top of the garden to make a bit more space up there. Put them in last year. We actually put them in the ground over there. We ended up digging them up because I was a bit worried I was going to end up with some massive trees, and I don't get a huge amount of sun up here. So I thought, let's get them in pots. So I've got these big 75-litre pots from down here. They came from a website I think was mostly geared towards a different type of grower, but they were a good bargain. I think I paid about a tenner for them, and they're 75-litre pots. They're huge, perfect for a tree, and actually the trees have done really well. If you look at them, I have got some little apples growing. One of them is a green apple, one of them's a red apple, but they're both reddish at the moment, I think just because they're small. So we'll have to wait and see which is which. I've also got some little cucamelons just up against the fence here that I put in. Looking a bit sad. They are sort of slowly clambering up. I think I'm going to need to put a bit more string on there so they've got more to climb up, because at the moment it's quite a big gap, to be fair, between each sort of level that I've put in. If you come with me just around here to where the gate is, I've got my archway, which I assembled a few videos ago. And I've got some sweet peas that we put into these big pots either side. There's a couple of different varieties in there. I think I've got some Mammoth Blues and some Harlequin, I think was the other one, like a multicoloured one. And they're nearly just reaching where I've got the chicken wire for them to clamber up. So pretty good. They've put on a lot of size over the past week, but they've had lots of sun and lots of water. So a few more weeks and we'll hopefully get some really nice sweet peas. Just before I go inside the veg patch, did anyone see the northern lights overhead recently? I was lucky enough just to catch it, and I got a really nice picture of it just over the veg patch there, which I've posted on my Instagram. Check that out, Arrans veg patch on Instagram. I've always wanted to see the northern lights, and yeah, at least I didn't have to go to Iceland to see it. Only Iceland I'll be going to is the supermarket. Anyway, let's check out the rest of the veg patch. I'll start off up this end, and those of you that have been following me will know that there was quite a jungle inside my little greenhouse, or the bus shelter as it's been affectionately named. And it's no longer like that, I'm happy to say. It's got my peppers in it and a lot more spacious. I've had a bit of a tidy up. Let's have a look. Oh, it's nice to actually be able to walk in here. 36 degrees though. It's only actually 20 degrees outside, but it really traps the heat in here, which is good for peppers. So I can't complain. Pepper plants are looking nice and healthy. Just pan you around. Got some here in sort of various pot sizes. I don't know whether I should be picking the flowers or just letting them go to fruit like that one has. I have been leaving them on. I know early in the season people like to pick them off so that the roots can get in, but I've just sort of let them go now. And I've got them in these size pots here. And I bought, they've just come today actually, some pots that they're going to go into, their final pots, and these are a 10-litre pot. I bought 10 of those from Oakland Gardens. I'm looking now, 10 will probably just be enough. I've got a couple of other big pots outside, so no drama. Been trying to keep on top of them with the feeding and the watering. But yeah, all in all looking pretty good. I've got a couple of seedlings going in here. Got some, they're my pumpkins and courgettes. Got some Black Beauty courgettes and some Golden Zebra. So they're going to go in one of the beds over there. when it's cleared, which you'll see in a minute. Also got some brassicas in here. Got some cabbages and my Brussels sprouts, but I'm torn whether to have a brassica bed or not. I really can't make my mind up. Whether to have one or not. Because there's loads of sort of fast growing bits that I'd like to keep the beds clear for. But decisions. Maybe chuck a comment. Do you think I should do the brassicas? Or do you think I should just focus on the summer crops and then have a pretty big sort of hungry gap over winter? Right, let's head back outside and I'll show you what else has been growing. Ooh, it's warm in there. Right, I've got my little salad bed, which a couple of videos ago I planted up. I'll show you, I've got some, just close this door just so it doesn't get in my way. Right, this is my salad bed, and I've got some lettuces here, and I've got some rocket, but the rocket, living up to its name, has rocketed, and it's gone to flower. So I'm going to need to take that out, sadly, and I mean, I did manage to eat some of it, but quite quickly it was going bitter. So unfortunately, that's it for the rocket for now. I might plant some more. I've got some lovely lettuces in there growing anyway. Bring you over to the veg trug. The veg trug's doing very well. These are my gladiator parsnips. Had fantastic germination with those. And I've got some deep purple carrots. Also did really well. The resistor fly carrots are a bit patchy, but I've got a few. I might resow a few more in there just to dense that up a little. Then I've got my blood red Holland spring onions, and then I've got a few there that are a bit further along and a bit closer to being harvested. And then this little thing on the end here is some more cucamelons, which I kind of just let go over the side here. There is, see if I can get the camera to focus, there is a few little tiny cucamelons growing on there, which is good. It doesn't look that healthy. Doesn't look that healthy of a plant, but there's a few cucamelons on there. Hopefully they'll mature and I'll be able to pick some of those soon. Let's show you inside the polytunnel. Are you ready? It is looking beautiful. They're my marigolds that I put in, all grown from seed, looking fantastic. And my tomatoes. These were all the beastly tomatoes that I had growing. Oh, there's a few bees in there, which is a good thing, but I don't want to get stung. They're looking fantastic. There's an angry wasp there, which I'm trying to avoid. Or is it a honeybee? I'm not sure, but it's quite cross because it's stuck in the polytunnel. Yeah, they're going fantastically. I've got some tomatoes actually growing on quite a few of them already, which is brilliant. Really, really lucky to have got these going so early and so vigorously. I'll have a quick rundown of the types I've got, because I haven't actually told you yet what types I've got. So let's have a look. I've got this one here, which is honeycomb. I've got some of the sun gold over there, which is supposedly very sweet. But these, I heard Hugh Richards talking about, and apparently they're even sweeter. So we'll do a bit of a taste test later in the year, comparing the two, and see if he's right. I've got this one here, which is looking pretty strong, to be fair, and that one's called Garden Peach, and they look like little peaches. Really pretty little tomato that looks like a peach, so hence the name. So I'm hoping they look as pretty as they did in the photo, because that is going to be very Instagram worthy later in the year. Got some indigo pear drops here. I really struggled with getting these going. These ones, this is kind of one of the latest ones that I sowed, because they just did not get going. They really, really struggled and just kept dying. But this one is looking pretty happy and pretty vigorous, so that is decent. Like I said, I've got the sun gold. I've got two of those in. One's looking better than the other, but both have tomatoes and both have flowers on. That's one of the sun gold there. Lots of flowers, lots of lots of tomatoes. Some of them, where they got quite leggy, don't have much going on the bottom half of them. So what I've done is I've left one of the side shoots near the bottom on all of them that are like that. And I'm hoping that'll sort of grow up into a second plant, which I can attach to it. And then I'll get a few more tomatoes off the bottom half. But we'll see how it goes, really. I've got this one here, which is called tomato berry. And there's actually a tomato starting to grow on it there. And you can see, oh, try and get it to focus. Those ones sort of look a bit like a strawberry. So another pretty one. I mean, I did sort of buy for prettiness and intrigue. So hopefully they deliver on that. And then next year, I'm going to grow more for taste and usability. Speaking of the usability, I have got one in there called Big Mama. It's over here. It's not too happy. This one I did struggle to put in the polytunnel because it was so big when I put it in, and it got a bit of a kink in the stalk, but it has seemed to have picked up a lot now. And you know, there's a few leaves that are a bit damaged and a bit wilted, but it's picked up and it's doing a lot better now. So hopefully I'll get some of those. This big sauce tomato, a bit like the San Serrano, I think they're called. It's a big sauce tomato, massive and perfect for sauces. So hopefully that picks up and I do get some of those. I'm sorry, B. 2 of them in here as well. I'm going to go outside for a minute and just let them calm down. Right, the bees have escaped. So I've come back in to finish off showing you what I've got. So I've got this one, which is called Sweet Cassidy. And this one, the tomatoes grow. They haven't actually started to make that shape yet, but the tomatoes grow into sort of an almost a chili pepper looking shape. And they've got like flames running through them. So again, another very Instagram worthy tomato. Just looking around, I am noticing quite a few side shoots that have got away from me. So I better get on top of them. I'll do that after this video. Get the old pruners out and get rid of some of those side shoots. For those of you who don't usually garden and are watching this, side shoots are these little bits and they grow out every single join on the plant. This one I've actually got rid of a lot of the side shoots already, but they grow at each node, and if you don't pick them out, they end up basically just turning the plant into a big bush and sucking energy from the plant. So you're better off picking those out and letting the plant focus on what it has to give you some juicy, nice tomatoes. Especially considering in the UK we have quite a short growing season. Right in the corner here, I've got one called Limoncito, and it's a nice little yellow tomato. This one, actually, this is a prime example of it. There's a side shoot that's got away from me. Let me untangle these a bit. And it's actually split off into 2 separate plants at that point. That's actually got 2 heads on it now. But it's grown quite big, so I might just leave that and let that do its thing. But the rest of the side shooting I'll try and keep on top of. Tiger stripe. So these ones, if you've been watching this since watching me since the beginning, are from Poundland, these seeds, and it's a pretty strong plant. It has been hammered by the weather because I put it in here really early. But look at the amount of flowers on this, it's ridiculous. That is a serious amount of tomatoes for one plant. It's a pretty common variety actually. You see it in quite a lot of the garden centres. That's another garden peach, that one. It's quite a common one, and it's sort of the baseline striped tomato. It's just a red tomato with some green stripes running through it. But yeah, it's gone absolutely mental. It's a bit of a beast. In the corner here, I've got it's a beef tomato, but I didn't realise that it was a bush variety, and it's just turned into a little bush in the corner. It's fine. We'll let it crack on. It's a little beefsteak with like flames, like a flame pattern running through it, bit similar to the tiger stripes, really. So over this side is where I've got my cucumbers. Now, this one here wasn't too happy when I put it in, as you can tell by sort of the yellow lower leaves, but it's really picked up now. I've started to get cucumbers growing on it. And this is the same type of plant here, the same type of cucumber. I've forgotten what they're called. They are actually one that's suited for the outside as well, but they should get some really vigorous growth in the polytunnel, as you can see already, since it's like mid-May and I've got all those cucumbers coming on it. This one is the crystal lemon cucumbers. They're just like a ball-shaped round cucumber. Nothing as far as a cucumber growing on them yet, but they have started to flower, which is excellent. But yeah, looking pretty good, pretty big, pretty healthy. And then I've got a couple of loofah plants. This one I've still got in the pot because I thought I'll keep one in the pot and just see how the one that I've put in goes. But they kind of stalled a little bit, to be honest. They've sort of stayed that size for about a week. So I think it's just the initial shock of being moved in here. And hopefully they'll settle in and we'll get some loofahs going as well. Always wanted to grow a natural loofah. This one's actually for Monica. She's watched a few videos online and seen them and really wanted one. So my Queen Anne's melons. These aren't looking spectacular, to be honest. Bit of a yellowing of the lower leaves. This one's very yellow on top as well, but this one's looking a bit better on top. And it is flowering, but none of the melons are pollinating. I have had the doors open to let the pollinators in, but yeah, none of them have turned into a melon that is holding on to yet. They're just going yellow and dropping off. So fingers crossed later in the year that I at least get a melon from it, because that was one that I really wanted to get going. Right, it's really hot in here, so I'm going to step outside and then I'll show you the rest of the plot. Oh, that's better. Very warm in there. Good for the plants, not so much for me. Right, these are my lemon trees, which I showed you at the beginning of the year. And they're doing quite well in their little pots. The new leaves that grow seem to be this reddy colour. I'm hoping that's normal. This one's also a new leaf and it's a bit yellow. So I'm hoping that's not going to give me any issues. I had that happen last year. Some of the leaves died back. So I don't know if it's a shock from the heat, shock from too much light, or what that's affecting those. But yeah, hopefully they do quite well. They've definitely put on a lot of size since I showed you at the beginning of the year. Right, my onions. Right, these are from onion sets. I did a bit of an experiment with these. So these ones I started off in trays a bit earlier. There's sort of 2 lines of them there. And then these ones, 3 lines of them, I just plonked in straight into the ground. And there's, a little bit of a difference. These ones are slightly beefier than these. But it's not been a huge difference, to be honest. I don't think it was really worth putting them in those trays to begin with. I don't think it saved me an awful lot of time. Just put them in the ground. And then these ones here I did from seed, which are the smallest, but they're still looking pretty healthy and they're still looking pretty good. So I'm quite happy with them. But I'll tell you what I'm even more happy with, and that's my garlic. The garlic's gone big, although they have started to get a bit of rust on them now. But really big, really vigorous. Let's have a little look, see what the bulbs are looking like. Yeah, that's going to give me some decent garlic. They're going to be in there till about July. A couple of them have done this weird thing where the side walls split and it's opened up into loads of different shoots. There is still a garlic bulb in there for me, but it shot off a few of these flowers. So I'm hoping that's not going to affect it. I have heard that if you cut off the flowers, it does help. It refocuses the plant's energy back into bulbing up. So I might have to do that later on today. Right, over here at the back of the plot, I've got my pea structure in. I got my peas sort of starting to clamber up it. These were direct sown a few weeks ago. I might put in a few more because some of them did get munched by slugs. They have been hammering my spinach as well. I've not actually eaten any of this yet, but everything else seems to have. And my beetroots, they've been getting eaten quite a bit, so I'm hoping they do all right. Some of these ones here are really small because they're shaded out by my spring cabbage. It's the only spring cabbage that I got that didn't just bolt immediately as soon as it got warmer, so I'm reluctant to get rid of it. I'm going to give it a couple more weeks and then I'll just harvest it as it is, because a lot of the leaves are looking good anyway. I could just eat them like that, to be fair. I've got my herbs that's doing quite well and steadily sort of growing the collection all along there. I did put them up a couple of videos ago as well. I've got some thyme, some sage, some oregano, some mint that's mostly just been used in cocktails so far, some bay leaves, and some rosemary. So plenty of herbs to get going with the cooking side of things. Like I say, mostly at the moment they've been used in cocktails, so not quite the correct use for them, but yummy anyway. Right, now the next bed has been shown quite a few times in my recent videos, and it's my purple sprouting broccoli, which is still going pretty crazy, although it started flowering now. Someone did recommend to me in one of the other videos that I've put up, saying that I let one of the plants just at least go to flower. So I might do that. I might take the other two out and then leave one of them just to go to flower, just for the wildlife. Apparently the bees do like it, although I haven't seen any bees on it yet. But apparently they do like it, so I'll leave one of them in for them, and then that is where my courgettes are going to go. But yeah, we're coming to the end of the pot now. All I've got left to show you is my potatoes. These are my first early potatoes, all in buckets. Got 3 buckets there, and then I've got my main crop ones over there, and yeah, I'm impressed. They've gone really big, really strong. Still quite a lot of room in the buckets, so I might earth them up a bit and fill up the buckets to the top with a bit of soil. I've got my these are the strawberries that I did from seed. These are a alpine type strawberry, just a little one, and yeah, doing fantastically, to be fair. Got a few flowers going over here. Got some Pacino Gold sunflowers. It's like a multi-headed dwarf variety, and some borage there. And in the little wildflowery bit we've got back there, zoom in a bit, my nasturtium. Right, so that's where I am with things currently. A bit self-conscious out there because it's a beautiful day and a lot of the neighbours are out. And it's been a couple of weeks since I've been filming, so I'm not really used to speaking to the camera as much now. I'll get back into it, and exciting times lay ahead for the channel and for the garden. I do hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll try and keep you updated a bit more frequently next time. Anyway, take care for now. Goodbye.